Check, check, check. And the mic.
Check, check.
The mic.
Check, check, double check. Skip it back.
Check me out. Check it out. Check. Check box. Is it transmitting? Good morning, world. From Gingerman Raceway. Sunday here at GRIDLIFE Drift 2019. Since we're not your normal hosts, we're going to welcome up to the stage Jared Deanda, the voice of Drift. You got to like, comment, and subscribe to get Jared up on the stage. If you don't, he won't come. You know, as Jared says, the best way to avoid a hangover is to always be drunk.
Is this mic check for live stream?
Live right now. Yeah, we're live right now.
Oh, we're live, baby. We live. We are here at GRIDLIFE 2019, the final day, day 3 of the GRIDLIFE Festival. Last night was amazing. Getter put on a great show, closing out the night, and then the party bullies ensued. Let's just call it what it is. If you are not here, I guarantee you need to be here next year. Or join us at GRIDLIFE South in Atlanta, and then the debut of GRIDLIFE Alpine Horizon Festival, Pikes Peak International Raceway in Colorado. The infamous Pikes Peak. No, you don't need to climb a mountain. You can just come to the track and party with the party bullies. You're going to see drifting. You're going to see GRIDLIFE track battle. Bracket battle.
Bracket battle, track battle.
Bracket battle, track battle. It's always a fun thing to say.
How are you on this very fine day, Mr. Deanda?
I'm feeling like a couple hundred pesos.
How much is that in pesos, Paco?
$2.
Like 50 cents. We're joined by the now infamous Paco Ibarra. Last night he flipped over 13 cars and yelled, "I'm the king of GRIDLIFE," before immediately falling asleep in the back of Oliver Twist. That's his name,
Oliver
right?
Twist.
Yeah. Oliver Twist.
Oliver Branch.
Yeah.
Oliver Plant.
He actually stayed in a treehouse right over there last night, and he had a treehouse party.
Yep.
It was infamous.
We call him Treehouse Man now.
Yep. Oliver Treehouse. No, come on. All right. So we are now about to start up the Sunday drift session. Paco, tell me about Sunday drifting at GRIDLIFE.
It's Sunday.
I gotta go.
Bye, Jared. I think the Sunday is like the chill day. Everybody's.
It's called Hangover.
Hangover.
It's called Hangover Sunday.
They're driving. You can tell they're a little dizzy. Like,
Right.
You can see their helmets pulsating because of the headaches, but they're still sending it.
Yeah, today's casual Sunday. Everybody's just easing into it. Some drivers have left.
Yeah.
You know, I know Forsberg
People
pieced
had to
out,
catch
but
planes.
what's cool about Forsberg? Here's the keys, Darren.
Yep. And
Darren is mechanics. Like, here you go. And what?
And Pat. We're gonna see Pat.
Oh yeah, Pat Gooden's gonna be driving Forsberg's
late
car.
last night. Pat is like, one
No
day? No, he's like Forsberg. Can I drive the M one day? And Chris is like, how about in a few hours? and here we are. So
One day,
yeah.
tomorrow.
So this is gonna be Darren behind the wheel of La Flama Negra, the M, that is VK powered. So that's very exciting. But yeah, as you said, Paco, the drifting is, a little more casual today, but at the same time, it's also the most aggressive because everyone's very comfortable with the track.
Good point.
And it's Sunday, so like if my car breaks, I'm gotta tow it home anyways.
And kill some tires. You got a few tires left? Burn them down.
Also, one of the best additions for GRIDLIFE this year, they had Sunday church next to the stage.
Right.
That's so everybody is ready and has all the blessings.
Look at this. I mean, it's still very crowded too.
That's right. And they're sending the cars going in the track. Sam, tell us what's happening.
Well, we have some drifting cars going out on track right now. As you can see from the live feed from the eye in the sky, here comes the parade lap. Got George K, bunch of bros in S13s whose names I don't recall.
Mike Scudleric, yo. So
I saw the Scud last
Paco.
night. I saw Scudmeister. Scudman was out there. Scuddies was out there.
Scuds?
The Scudman.
Ah, dude, Scuddy Scudderston?
Yeah, he was out there.
Aw, dude.
He was out.
Scuds.
He was ripping some Bernies.
McScuddies is crazy. Paco, is that Corvette your favorite drift car out here?
Nope.
I feel like it is.
No, actually, my favorite drift car is a BMW E46 wagon with a 1JZ.
I do love that car.
It's a homebrew
What's a what?
Humbrute.
It's a real humdinger.
Yeah, what? Did you just have a stroke?
Maybe.
Humber.
And yeah, no, I think that's my favorite car this year. What about you?
I would have to agree with you. Or the Subaru. I do like the Subaru for novelty.
Well, and they're both same color, and I saw him tandeming yesterday, so it's like a team.
Hold on. Say what's the name of that car again?
Subaru.
Nothing much. Subaru.
Subaru.
Wait. I'm confused. The Gitter was the headlining artist last night. He is also the Sudden. Yeah. So he is a man. Like I like that the two main headliners last night, Oliver Tree Twister. He is also a bit of a social media phenomena. And
so something like a phenomenon. So I told James Kirkham driving the Racer Chaser out here, that Mercedes. I said I think there's a new level of rap, and I thought of it. I don't know if anybody said it, but it's meme rap.
Yeah, meme rap.
Meme rap.
I think Jared just coined the term meme rap.
Yeah, because I've never heard that before, but that's how it is now. Oliver Tree. Getter, there's people that make a living off of that, and then that what is it, Bad Baby or what's the Catch Me Outside chick? She's like a legitimate artist now that has millions of.
But the cool part is like Oliver watching his set last night. It was real.
2 Chainz.
He was real AF family.
And he performed really well. I really had a great time last night.
He did wardrobe changes. The whole band.
He threw his glasses.
I like that the band also did the corresponding wardrobe change. So he would rip off his Jankos, rip off the big jacket, and then he's got the what do we call the classic shopping mall
cup graphic.
Classic cup graphic, and he was shreddy and ready. It was beautiful. And it's funny you mentioned Casual Sunday. As you look on the monitor here of us, it's Casual Sunday because we're not wearing any pants. All the drivers are driving pantsless. Here's
straight Donald Duck, Winnie the Pooh, Porky the Pig. We're all here on stage.
Straight Porky Pig in here.
Donald Duck. I don't know. I'd say I'm Porky Pig. You're Winnie the Pooh? Or you're Winnie? No. Yeah. You're down for the clown? You like honey?
I like honey.
So
I saw you chug a thing of maple syrup yesterday, you psycho. Oh, look at! I wish this weather was here yesterday, but you know what? It all
Chelsea.
just comes down to that experience, right? Like yesterday, it was muddy, it was kind of gross, drifting. The dude's still shredded. In the wet.
Through the rain.
You saw the video?
Oh, yeah, it was absolutely madness. And what's crazy is like, as we know,
there you go. There's your hot rod.
Subaru. As we know,
that's the Beamer.
Yesterday's last session got interrupted by an oncoming microburst.
Microburst. It was a macro burst. It was a crazy, crazy storm. If you check out pretty much anyone's Instagram stories, you'll see the insanity that occurred. It was 10 minutes of absolute chaos and then back to business as usual. It was awesome.
Yeah, the macro burst. Oh, Chelsea to no foul. Did you see Vaughn and Chelsea got into a little hip jammer?
Little tap.
Woo! All right, so the Falcon Boys up in the mix.
So like I was saying yesterday, while the track had to go black because of the storm, all the drivers were excited about it. It's like, yeah, let us drive through the storm with lightnings in the back and this crazy wind. It's like everybody's GoPros capture like such an eerie sky, and it looks super cool. But kind of sad we couldn't finish that session. There's that Mercedes AMG 4-seater race car. That was just paddle shifter, right?
Yep. Yeah, GRIDLIFE 2019 Midwest. As I was saying, we are starting things out here. Colorado. Y'all gonna be in Colorado?
You bet your sweet.
You're shaking your head. They can hear you.
You bet your bottom dollar, Jared.
The answer is yeah.
So Colorado Alpine Horizon is the name at the moment, and it's going to be one of the coolest, craziest GRIDLIFEs. It's a new location for us, and it's going to be Richter, I believe, is what Jared usually calls it.
That is a higher level of vibrations, aka equating to an earthquake, then creating the common vernacular as the unit of measure for an earthquake, meaning Richter. So it has reached that caliber status called Richter.
That is correct.
Girl.
So it's going to be late night drifting, late night antics, because not that there aren't already late night antics here, but there's no track closure time
I went to
officially.
bed at 10 p.m.
Yeah, so as we all did, early to bed, early to rise, and it's going to be nuts. It's in at the end of July. Check out the I think it's just alpinehorizon.com, but of course grid.life will have all the information, and I highly recommend you get out there. It's going to be a new experience for everyone, and we're all extremely excited about it.
I was pointing over here to, you can't see us on screen, but Pollock's out there in his Roush Performance Ford Mustang, looking like kind of a retro. It's called, what is a Warbird?
P-51 Mustang.
I believe so. It's kind of like a Warbird thing. Yeah.
Drive some Mustang.
I don't understand.
You
Paco.
don't have to explain it or say it again. I get it. Wait, look at Odie. Holy backwards
little backy.
entry.
Yeah, Odie. That was sick. Corey keeping up in the back.
Backy back cheese, dude. That's his name.
Back Odie back cheese.
Old back with the back cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shred the Gunnar.
I wish they could do an on-screen graphic that says do 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 do, and then we say girl.
No.
Maybe.
I'll think about it. Oh, look at Odie and Hosser. Oh, hey, look, that's your friend. I mean, not mine, yours. His name's Corey Hosser. Look at him driving so straight.
Well, what happened is one of his WrestleMania tassels on his suit got stuck in the handbrake. So
yeah, you know what? So anybody that's watching, I don't know if you've seen Corey Hosford's suit. He does have appendages, little flares.
Let's do. It looks like this. He looks like a squid, but you've seen the WrestleMania boys,
right?
It's a good style piece, though.
I like it. But as you say, he's having complications with the car.
Yeah, the tassels keep getting stuck in the shifter. I was thinking that maybe we should make a WrestleMania style belt for Party Boys next year, and or maybe we have 6 of them.
Who gets to wear it?
We all wear them.
How do you bestow that upon somebody?
I think it can't just be beating us once, because unfortunately it did happen. It's got to happen in a champion style way. Like the bullying is not about an official competition, just like GRIDLIFE. It's about who can throw down the hardest style, who can flex the hardest.
I can already see, like, instead of people jumping on tables being thrown at people.
Oh, there's Darren. That's Darren, one of Forsberg's crew members, ripping the M, killing it. Might I add, that's the first time he's driven this car.
It's his
wife's Sarah's birthday.
He's got a boogie and he can't shake it.
A boogie? You said he's got a boogie and he can't shake it. Oh, brother.
Not that kind of boogie.
Hi, puppy.
Boogie.
For someone that seems to be so informed on warbirds, you don't seem to know about boogies. Hey, Jared.
Boogie woogie.
How do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie in it. Oh, that's a good move. That's a good dance. We see the wall cam, what the spectator view is for this crazy initiation here. What we might call the first corner. Hey, that's 14.
This is our final. This is our swan song.
This is our Nick Swan song.
Yeah, this is our Nick Swan song. It's a large. Actually, Nick Swan isn't even here.
I know, he had to roll on.
Had to go to his dad's wedding.
But we're going to be leaving you after the session. There will still be some live stream. There will still be some grips, some drifts. But we gotta hit the road. Oh, a little too.
We still do have a cooler of beer, FYI.
Yeah, who wants?
What's beer? Come down here immediately.
Yeah, except for this is mostly to people on the internet. So, if you on the internet want beer, what?
So I say drive fast.
Yeah, drive fast. Get down here.
Not legally.
Got about 18B smoothies if you need them. That's a pretty good deal.
We have like almost a full bag of wine as well.
Favorite memory of GRIDLIFE 2019?
My favorite memory of GRIDLIFE 2019 Midwest would have to be, boy.
Yeah, that was hot.
It is actually very difficult to choose because there are so many moments, little moments. There's a lot of little moments out here. I would say that every aspect of bowling this year was very successful, except for the 1 or 2 people that might have been a little bit upset about their tables being flipped, but I can't control that.
It's not party friendly. It's party bullies.
Oh, hold on. We got Vaughn, Chelsea, Turk,
wow.
Darren, Racer Chaser.
Yeah, Vaughn, Chelsea, Turk, and
Darren Berg. I like how most of the drivers out there probably don't know it's, I don't want to say just his crew member, because obviously Darren's a very talented drifter. Yeah, but here's Darren in this, and he successfully did a sweet tandem train, but he's like, one and done. I don't want to mess up the boss's car.
Well, I mean, for those who know, I mean, if you know, you know. But if you have heard about the Blood Masters.
No, tell me more.
Okay. Well, Darren is part of it, so he knows what he's doing. He's a blood master, a master of blood himself.
Jared, you ever had blood?
Have I what?
You ever had blood, bro?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a lost boy.
Speaking of, somebody brought an old DA DVD for you to sign. How's that?
Drift Alliance is part of, wow,
Corey,
look at that hot rod of a
here's
drone
our pretty boy
there.
Corey.
Pretty boy Corey.
Getting followed by Mr.
Dog
Steele and
Crusher.
the FPV.
Eating tube meats all day long.
Yeah,
throwing
throwing up the
shuckles
horns.
out the window like he's all day
All right,
strong.
Nick Swan, can you ban him? He threw some hands out the window. No horns. No horn, and we said that.
He threw a shotgun.
By the way, now we're up here at Pat Gooden's devil horns. I guess you can't see anymore. He does the gentlest horns I've ever seen.
Well, no, it's because you're not fully torqued. It's like, I'm with it.
Yeah.
And then as the night progresses,
Yeah.
you go full El Diablo.
Hopefully the cameras can switch real quick to show the smallest of the softest of. There you go. This is a Pat Gooden.
And then as the night progresses,
Yeah. But you start out, Oliver Tree Branch was like, hey, throw up the horns. And Pat's like, all right. And then Oliver Tree Branch, as he gets progressively more excited, throw up the full horn. And then the double horn. And then Jared shows the triple horn. Off fabled, rarely a competent.
Whoa!
And then he
flips the table.
Good cut.
great cut. I'll show you the triple.
Oh, we got
horn.
some hot boys coming down the main stretch.
Hot
Team
boys
Falcon,
be killing me.
followed by the
Big
Racer
pun.
Chaser.
Big pun, Odie Bakshi.
Woo! Odie, JTP getting
Pollock.
a
Little brown cloud catching pink eye.
Mr. Steele with the FPV game. He's a true professional FPV artist. I talked to him for a moment. Dude's been in it since the beginning, one of the pioneers of the whole FPV sport, and is very dialed, as you can see, in his chase cams and on his gram and the GRIDLIFE grams.
Sam, you are training to be a race drone pilot.
I just want to do cinematic FPV, but it
Cinematic.
is very challenging to get into, but having some fun.
I've been seeing some of your footage. Trying to get the drone through a window.
Yeah,
coming out the other side.
I just need to stop running into myself.
Whoa! Adam LZ just
gets a
goes
little off.
mowing the lawn.
LZ likes to go for the strong backies, but you never know where the limit is if you don't push the limit. Push it to the limit.
Darren and Turk came back to the pits.
Yep, Darren brought the boss's car back in one piece.
Riley's going in. Everybody's going in.
Very good-looking BMW
E30 with a very wide wing.
White Wing.
Both wide and wide.
Get out of here, White Wing. That was a White Fang reference for all you White Fang fans. Fang fans? So once again, a quick reminder, we're all nude bottom down. I'm straight Porky Piggin. Jared straight Donald Ducking.
Winnie Poohing.
Winnie the Pooh. Yep. And that's what Sunday's all about here at GRIDLIFE. It's casual. And, you know, I'd say don't be afraid to join us at home. If you're watching this and you want to have a casual Sunday, just pop those
Take
britches
them off.
Pop those britches off.
Take them off. Were you wearing pants this morning at Sunday church?
No.
Good job.
Yeah. There's a lot of jokes I could make in that regard, but I'm just not gonna.
Probably.
I'm not gonna touch it.
Don't touch it.
I'm gonna straight up MC Hammer the situation.
How's that getting out of the camera like?
What was your favorite moment, Jared?
Great question, Sam. Well, it all was 3 days ago when it
Yes.
began. And now it's all coming to an end. Somewhere in the middle, we had a good time.
Who's to say?
The internet.
I think one of my
I would say the margarita
one of
machine.
my fresh margarita machine was very special.
That's
When
pretty much
the
a
gentleman
highlight.
with a two-stroke margarita machine, Jared
Proceeded.
Jared took the reins after it was fired up, and made this margarita, beautiful, beautiful margarita for just hundreds of people. Everyone wanted a sip. Jared shuts down the machine, takes the pitcher, proceeds to dump about 2/3 of it down his own chest, and
if
the
you've ever
remaining
seen
third,
Flashdance, where she pulls the
Yeah.
water and it goes all over her, plug in a 2-stroke margarita machine and then a pitcher of margarita juice, pour it all over my chest. That's what we had.
there was a large audible sigh from the room, but at the end of the day, we can all appreciate what occurred there. I also like the moment when a gentleman said, "Hey, is that my golf cart?" And Forsberg said, "No, it isn't. It's got my keys in it." And then we pulled away, and that guy was like, "All right, that's fine. I guess that's not mine." Spoiler, it was his golf cart. Sorry if you're listening to this, Steve. If your name even is Todd.
if it is Todd.
We put your golf cart back, though. It should have been there in the morning for you. It was all a dream.
I used to read Option Magazine.
What?
I was quoting a Notorious B.I.G. lyric
Okay.
and utilizing that in a car reference.
Okay.
It was all a dream. I used to read Option Magazine.
Oh, okay. You didn't flow it correctly.
I know, but that's why I did it on a more spoken word. So if you could,
Yeah.
snap your fingers.
Can we get some snaps from my main boy J-Rod here? Very, very good. Snap it at home, please.
Snapping next
Snap-
cash and checks.
snap it at base.
Wait, no. Snapping next cash and checks. That's what it is.
Cashing checks and
Snapping checks, cashing necks.
taking names. That's not the right one.
All right. I think this is like we're wrapping up here.
Wrapping up.
We gotta catch a flight.
Yep, we're gonna drive to Chicago. We're gonna get ourselves a deep dish.
Chi-Town.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get ourselves a real deep, the deepest dish you ever did see. Hop on the aeroplane, go back home, cry.
Or Boston.
Is that Boston now? I'm doing all right. That's fine. That's fine.
What's a good Chicago on, Jared?
Yeah, let's see your best Chicago.
I'm from Chicago.
Good
That's,
evening.
that's the best impersonation.
Hello.
You know the impersonation is you're like, oh, I'm Bobby Brown. Like that.
Yeah.
You just have to say who you
Yeah.
are.
Hello,
That's
it's 2019, and everyone from Chicago doesn't sound like a stereotype. Welcome to my state and my city. Thank you for
appreciate
coming.
it. Thanks for joining us
Yeah,
here in Illinois.
that was my Chicago impression.
Carry on. Cheerio.
Pip, pip, pip. All right, we
Eric's
hear
going back in.
Here,
He's not
Turkey
wrapping it
Corolla.
up yet.
Jared's pumped. There's a golf cart in the way. Turk doesn't have a horn.
There we go. Yeah, BMW followed by Vaughn.
Yeah, that very fire E46.
Risky Devil Cat there in the E46. He's stoked because look at it. He's like, go ahead. Vaughn was up his Beamer rear end.
Yeah, what do you do when you're just casually driving, having a little gentle drift, and suddenly you see a Vonster right behind you,
The trip champion Vaughn Kit Jr. right up your keister.
right up your tailpipe. Matthew Haugenator,
Hogging with a faint
R32,
initiation.
throwing it down.
That was his
Dude,
passenger.
yeah, did he just do?
Did he just drop it like?
What do you even call it? I don't know.
Yeah, that was his passenger because that car is right-hand drive. And the passenger saying like, I'm okay, I'm fine.
Paco with a correction. It's a right-hand drive.
Okay. You call it the, but I don't
the
like
okay-
to use
the
that
okay
signal
game.
because that's like now popular vernacular.
It's
for,
ruined.
yeah.
It's
Ugh.
ruined. Everything fun
Well,
gets
it's like
ruined.
the frog. What's the frog guy?
PP.
PP.
Like that. How did that get like aborted into?
I can go deep into
I
the
know.
theory.
That's
I don't
why
want to go there.
I don't know why I even brought it up in front of you because I know you go down the wormhole of him.
As an internet historian, I could fill you in on the car ride home, but it's not pretty.
So yeah, the OK hand signal, like when you text something, it autocorrects to that Mimi,
Yes.
right? You can't do that anymore. Below the belt, yes, that deserves. But when you throw OK,
Yeah.
has a different connotation now.
Well, we got to bring it back. No, let's not bring it back. Let's retire it.
I'm out.
We get a new hand
Oh,
signal.
Adam LZ's in the building. Hey, guy.
And do you know what LZ stands for? He finally told me.
It's his last name.
No, it's lizard skin because his helmet's actually made out of the skin of an iguana. And he'll let you come and pet it if you just line up at about 2:30.
It's actually chameleon.
2:30 in the paddock. Helmet petting. This has gone where I didn't want it to go. Jared, hold on.
That was my nickname in
Jared
college.
might need that.
That was my nickname in college. We have a whole cooler of beers. Throw it.
All right, gentleman is offering Jared some beverages, which is
That's
quite
the
nice.
dude that had the two-stroke margarita
the
machine.
gentleman that had the margarita machine just offered up his beverage sacrifice.
Look,
oh wait, no, he's taking them from us. All right, those are our own beverages. So,
yeah, homeboy that had the two-stroke margarita machine is giving us our own beers.
looks like we're getting
got a vintage- he's got a-
relining up on grid. I don't know what's going down. If we have a car off track, or if we're just going to full send every single car we have, which we're talking about.
Oh, look at this shot.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Full send alert.
We're talking about
got
it.
Chelsea Denofa, Vaughn Kitten Jr. on the line.
Vaughn, Chris, and I were talking about it, about like Colorado and going forward. Like, we want to plan more. They want to, I should say, I was just listening in. They want to plan more theatrics. So it's like they know that when the bros group up, it's the most exciting things, and it kind of just happens randomly. Like, they're both on the line. Like, you want to run? You want to run? Cool. We want to try to get like 10 car trains lined up, and to do silly things like everyone does a 360 into this corner, and just add to the chaos is the goal.
Come and ride that train.
It treats you
And
right.
ride it.
Wait, is it and ride it or treat you right? I think I
I
can.
think
I
that's the
think I
bridge.
can. I think I can.
Come and ride that train.
Is that choo choo train? Yeah.
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 It's that choo choo. Oh, you
Yeah.
did. Oh, you did that. Yeah.
We got
We got a 90s throwback.
Vaughn, we got Chelsea, we got the race service racer chaser.
Oh, geez, Rick. I don't know. I think it's a bad idea. What do you think?
Don't worry, Marty. We got.
Look,
we got
Marty.
this.
Marty. You're being kind of soft right now. What we need to do here?
I don't know about that, Jared. I mean, Rick.
Hey,
At one point,
hold on, it's me, Bill.
Hey, Bill,
Hey,
Mr.
hey,
The 40-something president of the United States of America.
Hey, Jared.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Slick Willie. Sorry, I mean, I hate to call you that, but I feel like I know you.
I just want to say I'm real happy to be here, and don't worry about it, bro. These guys are having fun.
Oh, I mean, the party's over, Bill.
All right.
Mr. Clinton.
Well, peace out, my hard bros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard you're a big fan of Collective Soul.
Bill just left. Bye,
Oh,
Bill.
bye,
Thank you
Bill.
for being our president, I guess.
Thanks for being our president, I guess.
No, he was great.
He was great.
Just
He,
little.
he played the saxophone
And he loved-
on Arsenio Hall show.
And he loves cigars.
He did love cigars,
Some say too much.
and some love them as well. Yeah.
What did he love, Paco? No, let's leave it. We don't need it.
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
What would you do? Oh! Got a little BMW bogging.
BMW pie.
Did you see the Bog Miata? The Baja? That thing was cute.
The Baja?
Baja. Jared.
I am your Faja.
I am your Baja. Yeah. Okay, we're going the same place. We
I
got
love you
high-five
so
that.
hard. Paco?
Oh, it's mutual.
Yeah, it's always fun when my coworkers, or I should say my bosses at race service, they after 3 years of, I guess if you really call it, 7 years of dedicating many hours of my life, they say like, "Oh, y'all did a really great job today," and like, Sam, still a soft maybe on him. But
That's what my wife says about me.
soft maybe.
Yeah, I sent her a text. I'm like, we had a good time.
Yeah.
And I sent her the video. Wow. That's a response.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Looks like we got Darren in the.
Look at Darren chasing down Vern with Turk.
Darren looking like a Chris. And Chris has often said that M car is, of course, it's not easy to drift, but he says that's one of the easiest cars to drift. It's got a huge, long wheelbase. It is a V8. It just locks in on a line and just sends it. It's such a cool car to be in.
Capable hands.
In capable hands, of course. If I were to drive it, I would definitely 360 into the mud and then claim that was what I intended and then never drive it again.
I gotta go. Right.
One of the new things for these seasons is that he actually added a super legit angle kit that he didn't have. He just had like modified knuckles, and now this thing actually can just keep going and going even more sideways.
Yeah, so he's got the PBM, the parts by Max.
I'll take the PBJ.
We are the. Remember we talked about this. The PI and J.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. How soon you're Thank you. Nope.
Am I the jelly in that situation?
You're the PBI and S.
What's a PBIJ?
He's
Oh, Paco.
Paco Ibarra and Jared.
I guess PBS?
No.
No,
it's-
Pete. What's your name?
P.I.
PJ.
P.I. and J.
PJs. That's us.
That is PJ. We are PJs.
We're the PJ Bros.
PJ Bros.
What's up with the pajama twin or the pajama triplets? You guys want to sleep?
I sleep so hard.
I'm going to sleep pretty hard on the plane home tonight, I think.
My goodness.
My
Paco,
goodness.
you got the upgrade. I don't have the upgrade.
the upgrade, man.
I don't have the upgrade.
You paid for the upgrade
paid
like a
for
chump,
it.
though. We earn our upgrades.
Yeah.
No. Mine was $20 more, literally.
So you still paid for it.
You say it.
Your flight was $700.
Yeah, but I'm not hurting more for it. You know, it was like, it'll be stupid not to pay those extra $20.
Guess what I'm doing when I land?
What? Golfing?
I'm going to. I
Probably golfing.
I would actually really love to golf. I can go to golfing actually.
Why not?
It's Sunday. I'm going to a beer share. I'm
Oh,
landing
good.
and going
So you're
straight-
going to drink some frothy, heavy syrup, 25% beers. He's dancing. He's pumped. All right. Don't break an arm. Don't break an arm jerking yourself off, kid.
Whoa!
It's fine. It's Sunday. It's Sunday.
Don't justify your vulgarities because it's Sunday. Even more reason to not have vulgarities.
Darren, I'm so happy to see this guy just
Right?
ripping the M. It's really cool.
I think he's a placeholder for Forsberg. Forsberg, you're out.
Forsberg's
Three-time Formula
out.
champion. Darren gets the win.
Darren 2019.
Darren gets the win.
Yep.
Is it evolving into, that's a new expression now?
I mean,
Darren gets a win. Yeah.
I mean, it's a. I would say Paco. It's
What's
kind of
it-
a riff off of an older expression.
what's your impersonation of me? What's your impersonation of me?
Hi, I'm Jared Diano.
That's it. Love to bring back jokes. Love
This is my
jokes.
impersonation of Jared on Saturday night.
I'll do a real one. Hi, I'm Jared Diano. The proof is in the pudding. Well, you've seen it all. Oh, doctor, full
yeah.
send.
I don't say full send, actually.
Send it.
Send.
And he puts a nail in the Kaufman.
It looks like Forsberg just yeeted himself to the podium.
He what?
Yeet.
Oh, yeeted himself?
Yeah, yeeted. It's hard
Whoop,
to use yeet in the context that I want to, but I really want to start working yeet into my vocab.
That's so millennial, Sam.
I am by definition-
Yeet.
Yeet. I mean, by definition, I'm an elder millennial, you could say. Like,
I mean, come
I'm
on.
at the top of the millennial tree. Silver millennial. Jared is, I was looking up all the
Oh, God.
generational things the other day. You're a Gen
I think X.
X,
I think.
like an X-Men. But there's also a name for you guys.
Yeet.
Yeet. The Yeet Twins.
The Yeet twins.
The name is Old People.
Oh,
people.
Paco. You're one of them.
boy.
You're in his class, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're beyond the
Yeah.
millennials.
Well, I've had a great time with you guys. Thank you.
Come on, dude.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Yep, I think we've got to get in our car in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, we got to like leave.
We gotta eat outta here.
We got to drink a whole cooler of Bud Lights in like 1 minute. Matt, go. We're nope.
Oh, hold on,
Chelsea's going now.
Chelsea's going. Chelsea's doing a yeet send right now.
Paco's awkwardly holding my belly.
You got to hold it till the camera comes back.
Yep. I'm gonna give. It's been real good
Yeah,
life.
it's been
1 week since you looked at me.
full send alert. Very good. Yeah, the love is over.
I think that's it.
We can go back to our old lives now and just hibernate until GRIDLIFE,
opposed
Alpine
to your new
Horizon
life?
comes. What?
As opposed to your new life.
Yeah,
We gotta go back to our old life.
Yeah, our old life. This is my new life, my grid life. This is my
Oh.
grid life. It's been real. We love you. Some more than most. Real tears. We hope you enjoy the rest of the day's events. The live stream is still going to be running. If you're here at the event, we've got grip, we've got some more drift, we've got what do they call them? They're doing mustache rides down at the down the paddock at the
It's Sunday,
South End.
everybody. Thanks, Sam.
All right,
On
sorry.
that note, GRIDLIFE 2019, Sam Dalvin, Paco Ibarra, Corey Hosford. He's eating hot dogs. He's crushing it. Man, this has been one for the books. But yeah, Alpine Horizon Festival as well as GRIDLIFE South, Road Atlanta. Drifting is still continuing. Jonathan Aaron, Von Ginn Jr. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Signing out. Have a good one.
Once a year, the town of South Haven, Michigan triples in size with the arrival of the GRIDLIFE Midwest Festival, and this year in 2019, we're about ready to go racing for our third of 4 races today for the GRIDLIFE Touring Cup. Here with Tom O'Gorman, my name's Kyle Heyer. Tom, yesterday we saw some incredible racing, wet conditions, dry conditions, everything in between. Today, well, the weather has cleared. It's sunny outside. Track's warmed up a little bit, and the qualifying times, the top 3, all within 0.3 of a second. Going to be a really competitive race today.
Yeah, yesterday was very interesting from the weather basically threw everything at these guys. Caught off guard with a fully wet qualifying session, a drying race 1, and then a dry race 2. So things were completely jumbled up. We have drivers that were at the front because they had the right tires. They picked the right stuff. We had drivers at the back because they didn't have the right tires. So everything's kind of turned on its head from yesterday. Today, very straightforward. We had a kind of a hard reset with a new qualifying session, and everybody is gridded. They had a good full dry session, one of the first of the weekend, and now they get to go actually race on a normal, dry, beautiful day.
Yeah, time's down underneath the 140s. Pole sitter Justin Kelly with a 139.263, one of the quickest times we've seen all weekend in his S2000. Had some phenomenal starts yesterday, but now he gets to start with no one in front of him. He's going to be on the pole, the inside of the front row for the start in race number 3. But race 4, we're going to take a couple drivers, invert those top few, and the rest will be gridded up by their finishing position in race 3. So that's coming up at 3:40 later this afternoon on grid.life/live on Facebook and YouTube. But race 3 about to get underway here in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's a great look at the pole sitter car there. Justin Kelly in his Honda S2000. Right in the background is second place Aaron Lichty in his Mazda Miata, and third place Eric Coutil with 3 for 3, very different kinds of cars, really. And we'll talk a little bit about GRIDLIFE Touring Cup itself. This is the first wheel-to-wheel series for GRIDLIFE. This is the first time wheel-to-wheel racing has come to a GRIDLIFE festival, and this series is designed to be very short, sweet, hard races. We're racing 4 times this weekend. All the races are about 12, 13 minutes long. We're focusing on probably 8 laps. All the cars prepped to a 12.5 to 1 power to weight ratio. So in theory, they have the same ceiling. But beyond that, pretty open. As you look at the top 3 there, you see aero, pretty open suspension rules, brake rules, things like that. But a pretty big contrast in power between the 2 front-engine rear-wheel drive cars, and then the Honda Civics up there, throwing in DJ Alessandrini sitting 4th. He's got a bigger engine than Eric, so these cars all make speed different ways, and it's really exciting to bring wheel-to-wheel racing here to a couple, thousand, tens of thousands of people here at GRIDLIFE Midwest Festival.
Yeah, Gingerman Raceway, very technical, very flat. It definitely rewards different driving styles, different kinds of cars, rear-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive. I think I looked earlier. I think we have 7 rear-wheel drive cars and 3 front-wheel drive inside that top 10, so still competitive. But I think this layout seems to favor the higher downforce. Actually, I know that Eric Coutil actually adjusted his wing this morning to get a little bit more downforce out of that car and hopefully help him through the fast and twisty bits of the course. But also, qualifying was really important yesterday. It's going to be important today as well. And we noted that Ryan Christoph did not qualify for race number 3, so he's starting towards the rear, and that's a lot of places to make up to keep himself up in those point standings there. Yeah,
there's a handful of drivers who didn't qualify today. Probably the most notable, Ryan Christoph, but also a swap for one of our weekend championship contenders, Jake Jornstad, threw the keys to his Civic Si over to time attacker, primarily James Houghton, who, if you guys are watching the live streams, you've seen his K-tuned Integra out here. He's going to be wheel-to-wheel racing that Civic out here today. We'll keep an eye on where he starts from and where he finishes, because he's going to work his way through the field. He definitely has some wheel-to-wheel experience. But as I referenced, we're racing 4 times this weekend. It's a championship where you score points on each race, kind of like a Gran Turismo championship. Short, sweet races where you score points, an overall champion at the end of the weekend. We have our point structure right here, and it is actually Eric Coutil, who's starting from 3rd as our championship leader. He won race 1 in the wet, finished 2nd in race 2 in the dry, and then Justin Kelly with really a huge start yesterday in race 2. Went 3 wide off of, I think, the 3rd row, and then was leading by the time he left turn 2. So he just kind of lit the wick on fire there. He's 2nd place, but it's a pretty big spread. 9 points between the 2 of those. Ryan Christoph, who is starting from the back, was actually 3rd in the championship, so that's not great for him. Aaron Lichty is 4th, DJ Alessandrini 5th, and Jake Jornstad, who's not racing anymore, it will be 6th. So really 4 of those 6 in the top 6 still contenders on the championship for the weekend.
I think Ryan Christoph's goal is get yourself as high up that order as you can. If you can get yourself into maybe 8th, then you could be subject to that inversion, get yourself on pole for race 4. That would be really the goal that he's trying to do today, but that might be a little tall to accomplish in such a short race. But we've seen drivers go up 15, 16, 17 spots in the races yesterday.
Yeah, the hard charger yesterday was Dave Montgomery. He picked up 18 positions, I should say. There was actually an error on grid that the cars were gridded for race 1 and race 2, both based on the wet qualifying session. So those drivers who didn't qualify or had a bad session started at the back twice, not just once. Today they're regridded by qualifying, and then you referenced they're inverting up to 8 cars after this race on finishing order for the start of race 4, if that made any sense. So basically, we're going to see somebody who finished in 8th place potentially start on pole, which will turn this whole thing on its head. And we reference now the starting order. We've talked about the top 3, and we mentioned DJ Alessandrini in 4th. And then you got a great shot there of a couple of the cars back in the top 10. Rob Manucheri starting 5th in his BMW 3 Series. That's going to be a torquey, more powerful, pretty good downforce on that car. And then you saw that Corvette. That's Chris Tuttle. He's been on fire this weekend in a good way. He's right inside the top 6 there. Dave Montgomery had a good qualifying session, got up to 7th. He started last in both races yesterday, so he's happy about that. Emil Taub in the 8th spot, Eric Waddell in the 9th spot, and Derek Yarbrough getting his MX-5 all the way from Texas up into the top 10 in qualifying today.
Risk versus reward in races this short, Tom. Yesterday we saw Justin Kelly go 3 wide on the start, but how about Lichty and Coutil and Alessandrini on the start this time? Do you think Kelly will be able to pull away early because of his aggressiveness on the starts, or do you think Coutil and Lichty are going to give him a challenge here on lap 1?
Yeah, I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. It's you can't win in the first corner, but you can certainly position yourself to, and that's exactly what Justin Kelly did. He was ready to go, and he did, and he actually surprised Eric pretty good with the move into turn 1, and I think that kind of aggression is what you're going to need for these short races. You got to be willing to do it. You said earlier, DJ Alessandrini said, I want to beat Eric, but I don't want to pass him in the first lap because it's risky. Like, sometimes you just got to make the move. So these guys feeling each other out. This is the first time where they're truly gridded based on kind of merited lap times, no weather throwing in or anything. Some of these guys haven't even seen each other on track yet this weekend, and now they're starting side by side.
Looking high above Gingerman Raceway, 2.21 miles, 11 turns around this racetrack, Tom. Very different sections. I said yesterday that pretty much every corner radius is completely different here, and you have to attack everything super different, but this is really where we get into the high-speed section here. What does the driver have to worry about on lap 1 when you're so bunched up with the other race cars?
Really, it's just turn 1 and 2 because they are so short. They come at you quick. It's actually a blind entry into turn 1, and then you have to transition back for turn 2, which is one of the slowest corners on the track, so it gets pretty crowded through there. This is where it starts to open up. This is looking down into turn 5 as they'll pan through into turn 6. It was really cool to see the difference in the way the cars make speed. Justin Kelly, just leaving your frame in the S2000, was really fast through the high-speed sweeps of turns 8, 9, and 10. As long as he leads out of turn 7 onto 8, 9, 10, and down the back straight, I think he's going to lead to the finish line every single lap. So someone's going to have to get in front of him before there because that's where that car shines. We saw Aaron Lichty, didn't get to see a whole lot of him on screen yesterday, but at Mid-Ohio, that car's really good on the brakes, really good through the middle of the corner, doesn't really come off the corner or get down the straights all that well relative to the cars around him. And then Eric Coutil, we're talking about these guys because they all qualified within 3/10 of each other. They're going to be the contenders, I think. But Eric Coutil's car comes off the corner pretty good, and it definitely is among the more nimble cars in the field. So these guys kind of have to figure out where their car is strong, lead into that section, and try to break away from the field.
I mentioned risk versus reward. What about the track limits? We saw a couple cars go off course yesterday in the wet. The track might be dry, but there's still some muddy spots out there. If you get yourself off course, you could get yourself stuck, too. So not a lot of rumble strips, no pavement runoff. You got to keep yourself on the black stuff to make sure that you make it to race 4 so you can compete and get those points.
Yeah, and with the races being so short, there's not a lot of time to make up for mistakes, which Eric Coutil made one yesterday, challenging for the lead. I locked the brakes up. The engine actually died on him. He had to refire the car, and he fell all the way back from second, battling for first, to have to defend second from third. We saw, basically one mistake and you're out with the races this short.
Field working their way through the far side of the course into turns 9 and 10, and then there's that long back straightaway. You get yourself well over 100 miles an hour before jamming on the brakes for turn 11. But right now we're behind the pace car, about ready to get rolling for about 8 laps or 12 minutes. And it looks like the 680 of Justin Kelly, that S2000, he's going to be a hard one to beat. You mentioned the cars make speed in different ways, and that means that they're going to be quicker in different sectors.
So we just had that great overhead shot of the cars coming down through turn 10, and what you can see now on this frame is that the turn 10, you actually fall down into the corner. It's a little bit off camber through the corner, and you rise back up onto the back straight. So there is some elevation here, but for the most part, this place is great because there's not a lot to hit. There's not a lot of consequences for going off other than you may get stuck today. And you can really race hard and challenge for position. But on top of that, you can see everything. There's not a lot of blind going on. There's not a lot of elevation. So it's pretty cool to be able to race these guys packing up and pairing up, looking great.
That's a great looking shot right there, following the field down between turns 10 and 11. You see the pit road straight there. The pace car is going to peel off that time through. The starter's going to be holding a yellow flag in hand. When he pulls that back, that green flag is going to drop. And we're going to go racing here for GLTC Race 3 of Round 2 of 2019.
Going to see a fairly late green flag as they want almost all the field on the front straight, looking low and slow. We have the on-car camera for Aaron Lichty out of the winning Formula stable from Kentucky, starting on the outside of the front row as they come to the start-finish line for the green flag. Race 3 about to go green.
Waiting for the field. Green flag flies, racing again at Gingerman Raceway for GLTC Round 3.
Field fanning out across the start-finish line. Looks like a really great start. We'll cut to turn 1 here, and it is Justin Kelly leads his way in, but Eric Coutil challenging for second place. Lichty's going to lead into turn 2. Kelly with a clean getaway onto the first straightaway, but Coutil looking racy.
We saw Lichty really, really fast yesterday, but now he's got to battle Coutil. Did Coutil clear him again? He did, heading off into turn number 3 now. And looks like Coutil's going to beat him into the braking zone behind. There's that Corvette on the inside now. There's a red car on the outside lane, almost out over the edge of the curbing there.
Yeah, that's Chris Tuttle passing Rob Manucheri to get up into the top 5 in that Corvette.
DJ Alessandrini trying to chase down Lichty in that Miata. He said he wanted to beat Eric. Well, he's got that Miata of Lichty between him and Coutil.
So this is the section where Justin Kelly's S2000 shines. As soon as he leaves this next corner, that's turn 7. Those big long sweeps are where that S2000 will break away just a little bit. You will see it open up. And Justin Kelly, just like yesterday, he raced from 5th to the front. Now he started at the front, and he's continuing to start to check out. He actually made a mistake yesterday to fall back into Eric's clutches. If he can keep it clean, he may be tough to catch.
There's a side-by-side action through turns 7 and 8 now as they head towards turns 9 and 10. There's the old version of the racetrack that was 1.88 miles as they work their way onto the longer section introduced a couple of years back. And looks like that S2000 is just checking out right now.
Ooh, Chris Tuttle in deep into turn 10. Rob Manucheri followed him, is running the rim. That's going to get Dave Montgomery in 7th spot a chance to maybe get a run on that BMW. But here are the leaders. Big gap for Justin Kelly. That's a heavier car, so he's going to maybe have to manage these tires just a little bit more than the 2 cars behind him. This is probably great for him to be able to break away.
Lichty trying to carry speed onto that front straightaway to stay up with Coutil. He was quicker than Coutil yesterday. We'll see if that is the case as well this time through. So the field makes their way down for lap number 1, complete here. And Tuttle in that Corvette, making that torque work around this short racetrack.
Absolutely, yeah, that car's really shining here. Looking down into the top 5, this ticker on the left side of your screen is sorted by lap times, but it is Justin Kelly at the front, Eric Coutil 2nd, Aaron Lichty 3rd, DJ Alessandrini with a solid 4th, Chris Tuttle up into the 5th spot, Rob Manucheri slipped back just a little bit, and Dave Montgomery in the 7th spot. Those guys were really the class of the field in qualifying.
And looks like Derek Yarbrough has held on to that 10th spot in that 857 machine, so he'll stay there, but all out front, it's Justin Kelly. Coutil and Lichty continuing their battle from yesterday, but flipped around. This time it's Coutil under attack from that number 190.
By the end of this GRIDLIFE Touring Cup season, these guys are going to be so sick of each other. They just can't seem to break away from each other no matter where and when we race, Lichty and Coutil. But we're starting to see that that lead for Kelly has stabilized. He's not pulling away anymore, so he had a burner of a first lap. But again, that is the heaviest car, I think, in the top 5. Well, no, the Corvette's heavier. But Kelly with a heavier car, definitely some tire management going on in that car. Looking at the battles back through the pack.
Lots of battling going on there, and this is where it can get really aggressive because we're all fighting really for that 8th spot because that's the max inversion we can have. So that 8th battle is where you want to be.
Someone we mentioned, Ryan Christoph, starting at the back. He's only made his way up about 10 positions. Last time across the line, he was in 24th. I think he's made up a couple spots since then. So he's one of the championship contenders, going to keep trying to pick his way through the field in that little tube frame CRX. Leaders onto the front straight, starting lap 3.
We'll see what the lap times are this year. They qualified in the 139s. The S2000 comes on through a 140.482, and Coutil is only a 10th slower. So those top 2 cars pretty evenly matched on pace. Lichty about a second off of the leader, and DJ Alessandrini even slower still. So those top 3 really the guys to be out front right now. It's Kelly, Coutil, and Lichty in that order as well as their lap times.
Here's Dave Montgomery looking racy, dropping 2 tires off on the inside, trying to get around Chris Tuttle. These cars couldn't be more different. Big power V8 Corvette drives down the straights really, really well. Montgomery looks to the inside, trying to challenge for 6th. We missed it, but Rob Manucheri managed to get back by, and he's back into his 5th position where he started. The top three spreading out quite a bit. DJ Alessandrini kind of in no man's land. Rob Mangieri started to pull away, and then the best race on the track right there, Corvette versus Miata for 6th position.
What other place can you race a Corvette and a Miata and have them be this equal? This is fantastic stuff, Tom.
You name me one, and I'll go watch it. But we'll throw Emil Taub in there as well, or Eric Waddell. I'm sorry, he's hanging on to the back of him in that 10th gen Civic. So it's kind of a three-way battle for 6th.
So the Miata might be getting beat on the power, but on the brakes, it seems like the Miata's a bit quicker because it's lighter. So the difference in weight here is probably the most important thing, but the Corvette's got a lot more torque.
I believe it's over 1,000-pound difference between those two cars. And that Corvette, we said it's power-to-weight ratio based. It's not torque limited, so he's got not a crazy amount of horsepower, but he comes off the corner really, really fast because of all that torque. These guys leading down the back straight. There's Kelly, Coutil chasing, leaving Lichty behind just a little bit.
And Alessandrini, Menicheri, they're getting closer together. Menicheri chasing down that number 61 Honda Civics. That battle's going to heat up her 4th in just a minute. But there's that battle with Tuttle again, and that Miata chasing him down into turn number 11. You see, there's the Corvette gapped him here, but the Miata closes right back in the braking zones.
Yeah, and Eric Waddell is definitely there at this point. That's a 10th gen Civic Si, 1.5-liter turbo, so it's going to be torquier, a little heavier, a little more powerful. Dave Montgomery, the lightweights in the sandwich there. But Rob Mangieri in the 5th position, challenging for 4th. He was a race winner and finished 3rd overall in the championship at Mid-Ohio. So he's definitely a contender. I don't know that he had been to this track before, maybe testing here last weekend or 2 weekends ago. So he may still be figuring it out, but he's challenging DJ Alessandrini for 4th spot.
And Emil Tab in that, he's in the Miata.
White car leaving your frame there.
And that battle for, what position was that with the Corvette? That is
side by side for 4th place. Mangieri trying to get the outside done around Alessandrini, but he's not going to get it. That's a really tricky spot. And then this awesome battle for 6th. Montgomery trying to figure out any way around this big, wide, fast Corvette coming off the corner. Look at the Corvette pull away. If we cut to the drone, you'll see it just stretch that lead every straightaway.
Yeah, that Miata is so nimble through that section and keeping right up with the Corvette, but then we get to the straightaways and that torque just pulls that big, heavy car right away.
In the back of your frame, just there, Mangieri got around DJ Alessandrini for 4th spot, so Mangieri will lead down into turn 10. He is up to 4th, Alessandrini down to 5th. Good shot of the FCP Euro Mercedes sweeping through turn 5 there. Those guys didn't race yesterday. They're out there for fun, hopped in for the fun today after seeing how good it looked yesterday.
There's some smoke trailing from one of the vehicles out there. I think might be the GTI. Is it full open the 187? The blue?
Yes.
Yeah,
might just be tire rub. It's got big old tires on there.
Kelly with a 1:39.708. That's the quickest time we've seen in the race session. Still about a half second off his qualifying time, but Coutil not able to match that pace.
No, Kelly's still continuing to walk away. We are starting lap 5. Alessandrini back around Mangieri into turn 1, though, here in front of us.
Oh, he ran wide, though, through turn 1, and Mangieri is to his inside. We're not quite sure if Mangieri is able to complete that pass, but he might try to cross him over for turn 2. But there's that battle again with Tuttle.
Dave Montgomery grabbing a ton of dirt, trying to open this track up, pitching the Miata, looking for any way by. This is the most frustrating position you can be in a wheel-to-wheel situation when you're faster potentially, but your car just doesn't have the right characteristics to get around the other guy. There's so much going on in that car. It's a high-speed chess match. Eric Waddell dropping back just a little bit in the 8th spot, so the battle for 4th is on, and the battle for 6th is on.
Mangieri just dogging the back of Alessandrini through the twisty stuff now again. The right rear looked almost flat on that BMW there. I couldn't quite get a look on it. Looked like it was flat, but maybe not. But Alessandrini doing a great job defending now as they had their way into the corner there. But you see that's the difference between Coutil and Lichty is make their way towards turn 9.
Lichty looks closer to me, actually. He was quicker by over a half a second on the last lap to Coutil. Lichty maybe starting to turn the wick up just a little bit to tack for second.
And Mangieri trying to go back around the outside of Alessandrini. I was going to have drivers right for turn 9. Is he able to complete the pass? Alessandrini's going to try to go around the outside. Can't do it. Mangieri back to 4th.
And in this battle, the Civic's the more powerful car. So he may be able to actually get down the straightaway a little quicker. He opened up the entry to that corner really well. If he can tuck in behind the wing on that BMW, look at the white Civic, start to pull that BMW just a little bit down the straightaway.
Maybe get a little bit of slipstream, then maybe take a look into the braking zone. Not quite yet, though. We'll have to set him up for turn number 1. That's where he got him last time through.
BMW carries the inside corner off the ground through turn 11 onto the 6th lap here. Battle for 4th.
Running out of time for that battle there, and Tuttle behind in that Corvette. He's been holding off that Miata for quite some time. Alessandrini in the dirt through turn 1 trying to get that car to rotate.
Yeah, it looks like Mangieri's really good on the brakes. He started to gap Alessandrini as soon as they got into turn 1, and now it's just kind of checked out. I have to wonder if Alessandrini either missed a shift or made some sort of mistake But he's definitely dropped back a couple car lengths just in those 2 corners. Montgomery's still glued to the back of that Corvette.
He's been trying to get around him for about 3 or 4 laps now, and I'm sure the frustration is rising. It'll make you do things that you probably wouldn't otherwise do. Maybe take a look deeper on the braking zones, but hasn't been able to get to him in the braking zones because that Corvette has so much straightaway speed.
Battle we can't forget about, Lichty, fastest car on the track again that last lap, faster than anybody else in his Miata, running in 3rd place. He's about to leave the back of your frame there. It's pretty close to Coutil on lap time, but that car gets faster and faster as the race goes on, where it looks like Kelly and Coutil both get slower through the race distance.
Just goes to show you why this starts and why qualifying is so important with races this short. You don't have time to let the car get better. You got to be quick right from the beginning. So you might have the quickest car now, but he hasn't been able to capitalize on it and get a victory this weekend yet.
Working lap 6 of 8. Time is ticking. We are 3/4 of the way done with this super sprint race. There's a great look at the 6th place battle. Dave Montgomery chasing Chris Tuttle, C4 Corvette, American Power versus Miata, light and nimble.
Completely different ideologies when designing these race cars. And of course, they come together in GLTC in 2019, and they could not be any more different, but the pace is so similar. They've been dogging each other, making speed in different places, continuing to battle for 6th as we round out race number 3 here.
Fastest car on the track this time by is Eric Coutil in the top 3. So these guys swapping faster laps, kind of stabilizing the distance between each one of them. Top 3 spread out pretty well.
I think most of our battles have fizzled out now. Manicheri's been able to pull DJ Alessandrini just a bit, and there's Tuttle again in the 333 machine, and he started to gap that Miata again.
Look how much wider Dave Montgomery is into the corner than the Corvette. Chris Tuttle cutting the distance out of the track, relying on the torque and the power of that Corvette to get him around quickly. Dave Montgomery relying on the nimble, high-speed maintenance of the Miata, the better handling, able to open up these corners and keep the speed up.
Well, not only are their cars different, how you have to drive them around a track like this is so different.
Exactly.
I mean, the weight forces you to take different braking points, different lines. You have to open up the corner entry maybe a little bit more, but he's doing a great job in that 333, beginning to pull away now.
Yeah, perfect look at that. You see how early he turned in. He cut a bunch of distance out of turn 5, still made it down to the apex of 6 where Dave Montgomery stayed wide, used even some of the dirt coming off the corner. There's a good look at, that's the 4th place battle we saw just a little bit ago. Rob Manicheri sweeping through turn 8, Alessandrini behind.
And even the cars with less power, they become more of a momentum car. And maybe a lot of drivers might say that every car is a momentum car, but it's especially true when you don't have the torque to make up for it. So you have to carry as much speed as you can through the center of the corner and stay off the brakes as much as you can. Maybe just a little bit of trail braking to get rotated.
Justin Kelly just now starting to work traffic at the back of the field as they start lap number 7. White flag is out, actually. They just finished lap number 7. Final lap.
1 lap to go in race 3 of 4 this weekend in round 2 of the 2019 GLTC Championship at GRIDLIFE Midwest here in South Haven, Michigan at Gingerman Raceway.
These guys all on the same 1/10 of a second last time by, but this traffic could completely turn this race on its head. Looks like it's actually helped spread them out even more.
And Kelly's got to be careful not to put himself in a compromising position here. We talked about risk versus reward. Well, there's a lot of risk and not a whole lot of reward. You go diving underneath lap cars here on the last lap, but he's got to lead this big.
Absolutely, and these guys are all in their own race too. They can't just disappear, so it looks like they're doing a good job, but stuff like that right there, Justin Kelly, every little juke and move he has to make around these guys is a pucker moment because everything is to lose for him, whereas Aaron Lichty and Eric Coutil can make up that ground. They're going to be a little ballsier, where Kelly may just kind of like take his time.
Less than half a lap to go for Justin Kelly. He's led this thing from the start. He's been quick all weekend, been so aggressive on the starts. It's going to pay off for him this time. Coutil and Lichty battling for second, but that's stretched out enough, and the lap cars kind of separated everyone out here. So there's a lot of gaps and not a whole lot of battling going on in the final lap here.
Yeah, Kelly and Coutil both managed to clear the traffic before they got into that turn 8-9 sequence where Lichty did not. That's going to be probably the end of Lichty's hopes for challenging any further up the podium.
Waiting to spot that silver S2000 coming down to turn number 11. He's dominated this race, and again, he's going to be not necessarily on pole for race 4. So he heads down to turn 11 now, and he'll see the black and white checkered flag waving. And race 3 of 4 here this weekend at GRIDLIFE Midwest for the GLTC Championship. Checkered flag in the air, and it's going to be Justin Kelly from pole to the end of the race. Victory here at Gingerman Raceway.
Yeah, Eric Coutil closing up just a little bit through. Again, he was definitely more aggressive through that traffic, but he's going to come home second place. Aaron Lichty coming home third, looking for the rest of the top 10 to start streaming through. There is Rob Manicheri, a strong race up to 4th place. DJ Alessandrini across the line there rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, it looks like DJ lost a bunch of time those last couple laps, struggling to get through traffic or just struggling with the handling of that race car. Maybe couldn't get it turned in. But they're across the line next should be, is that Taub and the Civic?
Yeah, Chris Tuttle and Dave Montgomery already came through. They are 6th and 7th. Eric Waddell brought home a strong 8th in the new Civic. Emil Taub behind him. And it looks like Ryan Christoph may have made it all the way up to 10th.
Wow.
Up 22 positions.
That is really impressive, and that's going to pay dividends in race 4 here, coming up at 3:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He did all the dirty work in race 3, so now he'll get to go potentially for a victory in race 4.
Absolutely. And now we can look at potentially, as we said, it is either somewhere between 4 and 8 cars are getting inverted. They're going to randomly draw a number out of a hat, and that number of cars get inverted. So these guys, Alessandrini, Tuttle, Montgomery, Waddell, any of those guys could be on pole for race number 4. That's going to be fascinating to watch, but even better for us to watch, Justin Kelly, Eric Coutil, Aaron Lichty, those guys potentially starting all the way back in 8th.
And we've seen that on this tight and technical of a racetrack, passing has been a little bit tricky. So if you start on pole, that is a gift that you cannot give away on the first couple laps. So we're going to see some ultra-aggressive driving, some defensive moves, and maybe some of these other guys that have finished in the top 8 could throw their hat in the ring and try to give themselves a checkered flag before the day's out.
Couple other interesting notes. Tuttle, Montgomery, Alessandrini were all quick there at the end of the race, where Kelly and Coutil both slowed down consistently through the race. So the races are not that long, but there's definitely some tire management going on, definitely some variety of speed. Who's going to be stronger at the starts versus the finish? That could play huge dividends when they start to invert this field.
It appears again that Justin Kelly did lay down the quickest time of the race, but that's no surprise considering how dominant he was. But again, that doesn't mean anything now for race 4 when you're going to be buried in the pack here.
Quickest lap on lap number 3, where everyone behind him was quicker on laps 7 and 8, which means Kelly kind of peaked and fell down. Everyone else built up to it. Cars finishing their cool-down lap towards the back of the pack. There's a good look at Christoph, who is our hard charger for this race. 22 positions unofficially picked up, and now it's showing 23 on our timing monitor.
I mean, that's got to be like a victory. I mean, this is all for fun, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going out here just to have fun, and now checkered flags are important, but having a blast driving through the field like that's got to be just as much fun as winning.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no one had more fun in that race than Ryan Christoph, especially because the car came home clean. We can take a look at, actually, my 91 Civic that my crew chief is racing. Renee Hines racing that car out this weekend. It's for sale, by the way, if anybody needs a Civic. But looking to championship implications from that, again, 4 races over the weekend, 2 of them done. Eric Coutil leading the championship by 9 points over Justin Kelly. And consistency is going to be rewarded more than anything else out here. I think Coutil still has a pretty comfortable lead. I don't know the point structure to do the mental math quickly enough, but Coutil and Kelly will remain at the top. Lichty will definitely jump up into 3rd over Ryan Christoph. DJ Alessandrini will jump up over Christoph as well. And then that'll be your top 4 going into race number 4 on the championship.
Yeah, I think race 4 is really the biggest wild card of the weekend. Maybe other than race 1 when we had the wet weather, but now we're going to take the fast guys and put them deeper in the field than they've been all weekend. So, yeah. I mean, how do you attack this time through? We've seen that the 680 of Justin Kelly is not afraid to go dive up the inside. I mean, do you risk yourself in race 4 to maybe get those other positions and launch yourself back into the championship?
Yeah, I think you have to. I mean, it depends on your mentality, but I think that's the way that, you get the reward. The risks are calculated, but they have to be there. And what'll be even more fun to watch is the guys that are maybe not necessarily there on raw pace when they start in timing order. Those guys are going to be really hard to get around, especially someone like Chris Tuttle, who's got a ton of torque, a ton of power. He's got a big car. He's cutting distance out of the track, so no one can get inside him anyway. He may be the guy, if he ends up on pole, no one can get around him.
Absolutely. So we just saw race 3 of 4 the weekend here at Gingerman Raceway for GRIDLIFE Midwest GRIDLIFE Touring Cup this weekend in South Haven, Michigan. And we mentioned the population, about 4,500 people, and we've at least doubled that this weekend. It's awesome to see everybody, and people are starting to make their way out now as the weekend comes to a close, but we've seen some spectacular racing. The drifting stuff is fun to watch, and we're not done yet. 3:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next round, race 4 of the weekend.
It's going to be a 3:20 race. They actually
3:20,
changed the schedule real quick, only 20-minute change. But again, 3:20, the finale for GRIDLIFE Touring Cup here at Gingerman Raceway, GRIDLIFE Midwest Festival. First time we've seen wheel-to-wheel racing at a Midwest Festival. Race 4 will be the first time ever in GRIDLIFE Touring Cup history. We've seen an invert at the start. It will be fascinating to watch. You don't want to miss it. We've got a little bit more drifting action, some track day stuff going on before then. Kyle, any thoughts before we head to race number 4?
I want to fast forward a couple hours and get back to race 4 so we can watch. This is going to be exciting, Tom.
Can't wait.
All right, we're going to go on for a little break for a little while, and we'll be back at 3:20 for race 4 of the 2019 Grid Life Touring Cup at Gingerman Raceway. Gingerman Raceway has 11 twists and turns, but what greater twists than to take the fastest cars of the weekend and put them at a disadvantage for race number 4? Hi, I'm Kyle Heyer here with Tom O'Gorman, and it's time to go racing for the 4th race of the weekend in the GRIDLIFE Touring Cup for 2019 at GRIDLIFE Midwest at Gingerman Raceway. And Tom, we saw some incredible racing all weekend, but now it's more intense than ever. We took the fast guys and inverted the top 6 to start race 4.
I love that. This is going to be so much fun to watch. We basically took the finishing order of race number 3. We said we're going to draw a random number between 4 and 8 and invert that many cars. 6 was the number, and now Chris Tuttle has inherited the pole position in his C4 Corvette. From the early 90s. He finished 6th in race 3. Been killing it this weekend in that car, and that means race winner Justin Kelly starts back in 6th, way further back than he's been all weekend. This is going to be so much fun to watch. There's a great shot of the field, that C4 Corvette on pole. DJ Alessandrini finishing 5th. He's going to start 2nd place. Rob Manicherry finishing 4th. He'll start 3rd, and so on. Aaron Lichty, Eric Coutil, and Justin Kelly. Those were your top 6 who are inverted, and that means the rest of the field is still in their same order after those top 6 cars.
Well, I think we saw that Corvette kind of holding up a Miata in race 3, and I'm kind of curious to see how many people he's going to hold up this time, and will they be able to get by him in 12 short minutes around here at Gingerman Raceway. So the intensity is going to be on. The aggressiveness is going to shoot through the roof here these first couple laps.
Absolutely, and GRIDLIFE Touring Cup, wheel-to-wheel action when the green flag flies. It's 8 laps of green flag racing. First one across the line at the checkered flag wins. All these cars prepped to 12.5 to 1 power-to-weight ratio, meaning they all have the same theoretical performance ability, but you see more power equals more weight. We have some lightweights in the field. We've got one of the heaviest cars in the field on pole. And we've seen a huge amount of disparity between how these cars make their speed, even though sometimes they are exactly the same lap time.
Also the heaviest car, but also the torquiest. So that start going to be real good for that Corvette. Pick a low gear and just shoot out of a cannon down to turn 1. But the turns 1 and 2, some of the slowest corners on the racetrack, so it's going to let those lighter cars keep it close at the first couple corners.
Absolutely, yeah. You referenced the battle in race number 3. That was Chris Tuttle and Dave Montgomery. Montgomery in a 1.8-liter Miata did everything he could to get around him, and actually said he drove his tires off trying to set Chris up. But we saw Chris just keep it nice and tight everywhere, super clean, use the torque of that Corvette to come off the corner, because GLTC does regulate horsepower but not torque. So that car comes off the corner hard. It's fast down the straightaways, and now we've got a big variety of speed further back in the field than you normally see.
A little bit of a personal rivalry between Eric Coutil and DJ Alessandrini. DJ said he wanted to beat Eric in race 3. He wasn't able to do it, but now he's been gifted the gift of position, which track position so important at a racetrack that's so flat and technical. And now it's going to be a battle to see if Coutil can get around DJ this time around.
Exactly. No excuses this time, DJ, right?
Absolutely
yeah, he's going to be starting on that outside front row. Another one of the heavier, more powerful cars in the field, actually probably making similar power to that BMW, other cars out there. Over 200 horsepower for DJ Alessandrini. Rob Manicherry in another one of the torquier, more power-based cars. In that red E36 just there. Look at this great drone shot we have.
I love the drone shots around here. We got to thank the camera crews for helping out with that vision that I had for the start of this thing, so appreciate that. But see DJ sitting there right in second. And that front-wheel drive Civic versus the rear-wheel drive Corvette, we've been talking about drivetrains all weekend. And again, just as we said with the Miata, these cars could not get more different. And this time it's front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, not only the difference in power and weight between these two cars. So obviously they're set to the same power-weight ratio, but again, the Civic a lot less power, but also actually the Corvette's probably heavier and is probably detuned more. But definitely an interesting choice of cars for this front row, but those quick guys, especially that S2000 driven by Kelly, first couple laps, he's going to have to be on it if he wants to get up to the front.
Yeah, he's my guy to watch just because of how aggressive he's been on these race starts. He started 5th, I believe, for race number 2 and was still leading by the time they exited turn number 2. That's how aggressive he was at the start. Eric Coutil said he was really caught off guard by how aggressive that S2000 was at the start. So we've said it for every broadcast. You can't win in turn 1, but you can set yourself up to, and Justin Kelly seems to be the one most willing to do that. Eric Coutil has been unsatisfied with the handling of his car and actually had some mechanical issues, tried to replace a battery before this race. So he has not had the smoothest weekend, but he is our championship leader. We're racing 4 times over the weekend, and they score points per race. And Eric Coutil, with consistency, a first and 2 second places, is still the championship leader. But Justin Kelly is my hard charger, I think, for the hard runner.
Well, it's a beautiful day out here in South Haven, Michigan, but it's also a little bit on the cool side, and there's a pretty big wind coming out of the west, so those lighter cars might struggle with the headwind, especially on that back straightaway heading into turn 11, so that might be something to worry about. It's going to make that slipstream even more important. Straightaways aren't super long here, but long enough where that's going to be a factor, and the field working their way through the far side of the course, about to get doubled up to go racing for race 4.
Yeah, looking at turns 7, 8, and 9 as they pan down into turn number 10. Most of this is completely flat, but turn 10 is really where the elevation of this track is, where the pace car is now. At the right side of your screen, that's all downhill braking into turn number 10. You see it's an increasing radius corner that climbs back uphill onto the longest straightaway. But those windy corners are where some of the cars have shown, Justin Kelly, one of them. I think the front engine rear wheel drive with good efficient downforce really gets through that section well, where other cars like DJ Alessandrini with no aero and front wheel drive, he struggles big time through that section, makes his time up other places.
And we mentioned yesterday that the drivers were talking about Justin Kelly's aggressive starts. Well, he didn't have to worry about that too much starting on pole for race 3, but now he's buried in 6th for the start, 3 rows back from the front, and he made it 3 wide 2 times yesterday, and I don't think he's afraid to do it again.
I completely agree, but I think you made the point with Chris Tuttle in that torquey Corvette. If he gets off the line at the start well enough, he should lead into turn 1, and he's going to be the hardest car to get around in this field.
I just think it's so interesting. We saw that Corvette just slowly climbing the order all weekend, and now he's got a shot to win this thing and go collect that checkered flag, but not before about 8 laps or 12 minutes of racing. He's got to hold off some hungry hard chargers here in the next coming laps. And unfortunately, Ryan Christoph not going to be participating in this one, had to pack up and head home, so that's going to be a big points hit for him. But had a blast in race 3 as the field rolls through turn 11. Pace car is going to roll off, waiting for that green flag to drop. And it's that 333 of Tuttle out in front. Can he hold him off with that torquey Corvette, that V8 that's been detuned, waiting for the green flag? There it is. Green flag flies, racing for the final time this weekend in GRIDLIFE Touring Cup.
Tuttle got the start he needed. DJ Alessandrini sleeping just a little bit. It looks like the outside row is going to get a better run down into turn 1. Clean so far as they pan behind us, but look at Rob Manucheri challenging for second. A really good start for Eric Coutil is going to try to get around Alessandrini as well, but Tuttle starting to extend his lead. That Corvette dig off the corner. Alessandrini and Manucheri side by side, almost 3 wide down into turn 3.
We're going to try 3 wide into turn 3. That's Manucheri up the middle of the sandwich. Then Coutil trying to make it 3 wide down into turn 3. Couldn't quite stick the nose in there, though, but still DJ Alessandrini. Manucheri side by side. Alessandrini drops a wheel in turn 3.
Still side by side down into turn 5. This is on board with Eric Coutil. He is side by side now with Justin Kelly, who's starting to make moves. Not the aggressive start we thought we'd see from him, but he's still in the hunt. Alessandrini doing a great job holding on to second place as they pan through side by side for the S2000 and the BMW.
Oh, that BMW dropped the wheel there as well, and the S2000 tried charging up the outside, couldn't do it, but here comes Coutil up the middle, 3 wide, trying to get back to DJ Alessandrini.
Around the outside of 7, this is the momentum run for the Civic, but the BMW has the track position. He needs to shut that door, and then Kelly hunting behind. Alessandrini's still there. Oh, look at that tight stuff between Manucheri and Coutil.
That Corvette is gone, Tom.
He's gone. He loves watching this battling in his mirror. Oh, really wide run, side by side down into 10 still for Manucheri and Coutil, but it is Coutil that drops now back a little bit. Kelly now side by side with Coutil.
Alessandrini's got some clear racetrack in front of him, but an intense battle behind him. Kelly in that S2000 trying to be aggressive to the inside of Coutil. Those two were the quickest all weekend. Now they're battling on the back straight.
It's a Honda drag race for 4th place. They're coming down into turn 11. Coutil with the power actually got the run down the straightaway on Kelly. Top 5, Tuttle already across the start-finish line. He is checking out in the Corvette. We've got Alessandrini holding on 2nd, Manucheri 3rd, Coutil 4th, and Kelly 5th. Aaron Lichty actually dropping back quite a bit. And then check this out. Eric Waddell in the new Civic has gotten his way up into 7th.
An intense first lap here at Gingerman Raceway, but Tuttle has worked his way out in front by a couple seconds now over Alessandrini. Manucheri dropped a wheel in turn 11, but now he's all over the back of Alessandrini through turn 2, heading down to turn 3, and right behind him, Coutil, and that number 680 of Kelly on his bumper as well.
Yeah, challenge for second place. Manucheri looked up the inside. They're going to be side by side yet again coming out of turn 3. Tuttle continuing to giggle as he sees these guys just fighting for position, but the wrong position. They're fighting for second. Tuttle in the first spot, sweeping through turn number 6, looking nice and clean.
Alessandrini's mirror driving right now. He's got a bunch of cars in his mirror, and they're all going to be really hungry, but look at Coutil trying all over the back of that BMW for 3rd.
Dropping wheels coming out of turn 6, drag race down to the 7. Side by side yet again, Coutil and Manucheri sweep through 7 around the outside. This is a really, really tricky high-speed transition. The car has to tuck in right here for the apex of turn 8. You see Coutil working the wheel, the back end of the EG all over the place. This Alessandrini now starting to extend his lead as these guys grab shifts and charge down into 10.
He managed to stick around the outside through that corner and managed to get that spot away. So Coutil moves himself up into position now. But Alessandrini still has a little bit of a gap behind him, but it's Tuttle out up front by several seconds. Continuing to watch in the mirror, those cars getting smaller and smaller as they disappear.
Yeah, the gap at the start-finish line, let alone this lap, was 3.3 seconds between Tuttle and Alessandrini. Tuttle with the fast lap by a long way. But actually, Alessandrini is getting the gift of a battle from behind as well. And these guys, Manicherry and Coutil, fighting for third, barely on the podium.
Manicherry's been really aggressive so far, but he's dropped a couple wheels a few times, so he's not super consistent right now. But look at the S2000. He's side by side behind him, and there comes
Challenge for
Lichty.
fifth. Challenge for fifth, for Lichty. Trying to get around Kelly. Not going to get it done this time. Waddell is hunting in the back with the Civic. Dave Montgomery holding on as well. That's the top 8 covered by only about 2 seconds at the line.
Looks like Coutil has caught back up to Alessandrini in one straightaway, so he just chopped that gap in half, and he's still coming down as they head to turn number 3 now. There's your leader out in front by a huge margin, but Alessandrini's got a mirror full of Coutil as they work their way to the far side of the course. Coutil takes a look. Alessandrini leaves him the opening on the inside, and Coutil just shoves the car down there, and he'll take that spot away, but he's not done just yet.
That's the lightweight in the aero helping into the brake zone and through the sweep there of 5 and 6. Alessandrini kind of had nowhere to go, nothing to do with that. His car's fast in a straight line and good on the brakes, but it's now Coutil up into second, and that's the consistency. He's leading this championship, and if he can stay right here, he's going to win it. He doesn't even have to catch Tuttle, but Tuttle was over a second slower.
Whoa. Up the inside, there comes Kelly in the S2000 to the inside of Manicherry, taking advantage of the fact that Manicherry is stuck behind DJ Alessandrini, who was slow through that sector. It's brought the S2000 alongside the BMWs. They work their way to turn 9.
BMW can't hold on to the brakes. The Kelly around the outside tucks in behind Alessandrini now, who has a whole bunch of cars now into his grasp. Fallen into their grasps. There we go.
On the back straightaway now. That S2000 has found some pace now with Kelly behind the wheel, but it's all the 333 out up front.
Look at that gap. It's just vanished on this lap. Tuttle had a lead of 3 seconds at the line. It's going to be maybe 3/10 this time as Coutil comes through.
Close that gap. Look at that. And he's going to go for the lead down the inside into turn 1. Coutil takes the lead away.
Ooh, challenge for third as well. Kelly trying to get around Alessandrini.
A power move by the number 82 of Coutil. He takes that top spot away and leaves the Corvette in the dust. And behind him, Manicherry all over DJ Alessandrini, who hasn't been able to get by him, but the S2000 driven by Kelly has, so they're just losing time behind that Civic now.
Yeah, big shuffling in the top 5 right here. We have a new leader, Eric Coutil, Chris Tuttle holding down second now in the Corvette. Justin Kelly picked up a bunch of spots on that lap. He is third, and it's now Rob Manicherry who's hunting DJ Alessandrini.
Kelly is hunting down that Corvette now. I think that 333 is in trouble. He's been losing a lot of pace these last couple laps, and now he's got that S2000 all over him, dogging him for position.
And he's one of those cars that doesn't have the raw pace, so this is not a surprise that he's falling back as these guys have stopped battling each other. They focused on him, and they ran him down pretty quickly. That's what we would have expected to see, and they kind of took a little while to figure out, hey, if we stream together, we can go get him.
Now Coutil's just got to set his sights on that checkered flag again. And nice and smooth up front. He was sideways earlier trying to get around Manicherry, but he's managed to get that car straightened out, cool those tires off, and now he's going to try to take that lead away and drive off into the sunset.
Finishing up lap number 4, as soon as Coutil crosses the line, we will be halfway with this race.
It's been a super aggressive race so far. At the line, the gap was 52 thousandths of a second between Tuttle and Coutil.
Wow.
But Coutil managed to grab that down into turn 1. Just had a huge run out of turn 11. Must have lined it up just right, hit that apex, and launched into turn 1.
Sweeping onto the front straight for Coutil. He was 4 seconds a lap faster than Tuttle was last lap.
It's not a great lap for the Corvette, and he's dropped, looks like, down to third. And here comes Alessandrini. This is going to be a battle. Here comes Lichty in the Miata now to be a part of this fight into turn 1.
Kelly resuming in second, and that's Tuttle now in third. Like you said, he's dropping back into the clutches of Alessandrini and Lichty.
Lichty was quick all weekend, and looks like he's finally going to launch a fight here late in the going. And he's all over DJ Alessandrini, but they're both stuck behind the Corvette. I don't think it's going to take too long. Lichty taking a look to the inside of Alessandrini.
Trying to rattle him maybe a little bit. He definitely wasn't there. Something happened to Rob Manicherry, who's just on the back side of the screen there. He's all the way down to 8th. He had a minute 50 lap time, which is 10 seconds off his pace. He may have gone off or had some big moment. But Manicherry is out for this race. Big gift for Alessandrini, Lichty, and Tuttle to be able to fight without him in there.
That Corvette has been under attack since the green flag has dropped, and now it's Alessandrini looking to the outside, but this is a hard place for those front-wheel drive cars to get purchased on the flat corner here.
Yeah, right here is where the S2000 of Justin Kelly comes alive. All that downforce,
Whoa.
that nice chassis balance. You see the Civic just really nervous through this section of track.
Side
Coutil
by
on the
side.
right side. Oh, yeah, side by side for 5th.
Looks like they've cleared it, but that was a pass between Lichty and Alessandrini, so Lichty got that spot away, and now he's going to set sights on that Corvette, but that's been such a difficult car to get by. Not only is it bigger and heavier, it's just wider, so it takes up, this track is only 36 feet wide, something like that. So that's not very wide when you consider how much the Corvette takes up.
Not at all. If he can just park them behind him, he will keep them there and stay on the podium. Also a good battle for Eric Waddell and Dave Montgomery for 6th. Going on a little further back in the pack, but there's a great shot of Justin Kelly running second, trying to run down Eric Coutil. Justin Kelly has been the fastest car in the field all weekend, but not by a whole lot, so I don't know that he's going to be able to run him down on raw pace.
That time through a 140.095 for the leader and a 139.734 for second place Kelly. That's 0.3 quicker. I don't know if it's enough time, but he's going to launch a fight here soon.
Yeah, he needs 1.8 seconds to catch Coutil, and then he's got to get around him. That's a whole different story, but they've only got 3 laps to get it done. 2, really. We've finished 5. We're lurking lap number 6.
And look at Lichty all over that Corvette now as they head over to turn number 3. The Corvette does not take a defensive line, but Lichty doesn't have the power to get there.
This is exactly what we saw from race 1 when it was Tuttle versus Montgomery. Now it's Tuttle versus Lichty, which is basically the exact same car. Those Miatas very similar, and the Miata just has nothing to do with the Corvette because he can just power out of every corner.
And Coutil, he looks like he's sliding that car around now. Remember, he made one mistake yesterday that lost him the race, and
he did.
He locked up the tires and stalled the motor out. And he could make that same mistake again. That S2000 is closing, and when the car is getting bigger in the mirror, you get distracted and you can start making mistakes.
Yeah, he's certainly driving hard right through here. We watch the car get a little nervous through 9, straightening the hands out as the back end rotates. Looked nice and composed this time through.
And look at that battle for third going on behind him. It's Tuttle again. And just trying to keep that Miata behind him, but we saw how incompatible these cars are.
Yeah.
On this racetrack specifically, they're so close on pace, but just in such different areas that the Miatas get so frustrated behind that Corvette.
Sure. Ooh, Tuttle looks wide, though, through 11. He might have actually ruined his run down the back straight just a little bit, enough for Lichty to get a run down on him and keep in the draft.
Running out of time. Coutil has stolen the lead away from Tuttle in that 3:33, but that S2000 of Kelly is closing and closing quick. Only a couple laps remaining here at Gingerman.
This gap is visibly less than last lap. Coutil and Kelly, what are the lap times? Kelly at 39.4, Coutil 40.2. He took 0.8 of a second out of Coutil's lead this lap. We may get a last lap battle for the lead.
1 second between the top two. We have about probably 2 laps to go now, so Kelly's got to turn up that wick and get all over the back bumper of that number 82 Civic to put the pressure on.
Yep, working lap 7 of 8. The battle for third still right there. Corvette versus Miata. Now we have a great battle for 5th as well. Dave Montgomery's come alive to catch DJ Alessandrini after he disposed of Eric Waddell, still running 7th. Rounding out the top 10 right now, Emil Tab, Egidijus Sadauskas, and Bill Griffin actually finding their way up into the top 10.
Alessandrini has been struggling in the later portions of this race. Didn't do too bad in the wet yesterday on the tires he was running. He ran slicks in the wet, but today just hasn't quite had the pace to stay where he started. Now under attack from that Miata as we get down to the last moments of this race. Coutil working the wheel here, just trying to shove that car nice and smooth there. Then back to the left. This thing changes direction. It's so nimble. But the S2000 behind, a little bit heavier, but a lot quicker.
Yeah, big slide right there. That's the stuff that hurts this EG Civic in the high-speed sweeps.
Down into turns 9 and 10 now, and that S2000, that gap is stabilized, it looks like. Coutil's kind of found some pace at the moment, but he's going to have to hold him off for a whole other lap here. And 2.21 miles, that's a long way to go.
It is.
A lot of opportunities for mistakes.
I'm going to give Coutil the advantage on this lap, though. He started to pull away. Something happened to Kelly on that lap that he wasn't able to continue running that low 39 pace, or Coutil's responded and is also running just that quick. White flag flies for the final lap.
Last lap here at Gingerman, the last lap for GRIDLIFE Midwest Touring Cup, and Coutil leads by about a second, 1.1.
Coutil responds. They ran the exact same lap time this time, 139.5. Coutil just needs to hold on to it, no mistakes, and this is his to win, along with the GRIDLIFE Touring Cup Championship here from Midwest Festival.
Car dancing through turn 2, now the straight shot to turn 3. That S2000 is close, but not going to be close enough, I don't think. But if Coutil makes a mistake, that race could be on.
Chris Tuttle continuing to hold off Aaron Lichty. These guys running the exact same lap times, and that's just because Lichty has nowhere to go but his bumper.
There was some lap traffic that just disappeared out of frame. I'm not sure if we'll catch it this time. We got a car off in the dirt. Trying to see who that is. Couldn't quite get a look at it, but I think they were down a lap or almost down a lap.
Certainly, yeah. We're starting to work this lap traffic. And actually, we saw in the end of race number 3, Coutil worked through the traffic as the second place car and ran down Kelly pretty much in the last couple corners. Now look at Kelly actually all up underneath Coutil. Last lap.
This is not done yet, Tom. We're getting really close.
Oh.
Still some lap traffic to navigate. About a half a lap left to go. Kelly is closing the gap as they lap the cars to the inside.
Great awareness from that Miata, number 2. Getting down into turn number 10. They are on top of each other for the lead, Coutil and Kelly, but the lap traffic did not take a factor there. Kelly ran him down all on his own.
Half a car length now, even less than that. Right on his bumper as they make their way down the final straightaway. They got one corner left. Can Kelly make a move?
The S2000 has the power here. He also has the draft, but Coutil holding on to a lead. I don't know that we'll see a pass here as they go
A deep
around lap
dive
traffic.
on the brakes. Here comes the 680 to the inside. Almost got to the bumper.
Wow.
One more corner. Checkered flag flies. Coutil comes out of the final corner. It's going to be a drag race to the start-finish line. Coutil is just going to barely get it by a nose. Wow.
Great clean racing from those two.
Spectacular stuff there, Tom.
And an amazing effort from Justin Kelly to try to come back. Fist pumping. I don't know if that's a curse you or a great job, but either way, so much fun to watch. Fantastic driving. Eric Coutil will be your race number 4 winner and your GRIDLIFE Midwest Festival Touring Cup champion for 2019.
0.295 seconds. That is a close one there.
Wow.
And also the battle for fourth as well between Alessandrini and Montgomery, 0.286, so just as close to the gap there.
Really close. And actually, Chris Tuttle is gone somewhere off of our timing screen. Aaron Lichty got himself onto the podium at the end, third place. DJ Alessandrini, 4th. Dave Montgomery, 5th. Chris Tuttle fell all the way to 8th, according to our timing monitor.
He might have been the one that went off course. We didn't really get a good look at it, but
that was right in front of the leaders, though.
Oh,
He
yeah.
couldn't have been there. I don't see Tuttle on course even. I'm looking for him.
I don't see him either. But so what has happened to the 333 Corvette? Started this race on pole, fell down the order, then managed to hang on for a little while, but now disappeared off of the racetrack. We can't find him.
So once again, Eric Coutil in dramatic fashion taking the win. Oh, there's what's happened to the Corvette. He's passing him right there. Corvette C4 dead in the water.
I think he's disabled there.
Yeah,
He's not
Chris
working.
Tuttle made it 7.5 laps, but it's an 8-lap race. It just didn't quite have enough smoke in the engine of that Corvette. Something happened to it, but a great performance, especially those first couple of laps to hold off some of the fastest cars on track.
He did his best there, but it looks like that car has stalled. I think that's over in turns 9 and 10.
Yeah, it's going to be right between 7 and 8, actually.
Oh, 7 and 8, okay.
Yep.
But that car stalled, and could be fuel issue, could be something disconnected, but that car started on pole and will not make it around to complete this race. Tom, what a race. That was about as great as it gets here. I mean, cars, all the kinds of diversity we get in the cars just makes this so much more exciting because you get cars that are great on straightaways, cars that are great on brakes, cars that are great in downforce. And Coutil and Kelly put on a show as they have been all weekend.
Yeah, we've had 2 rounds of GRIDLIFE Touring Cup in the books, and we've had 2 barn burners, and we're ended with a bang right here. Almost door-to-door, nose across the line, 3/10 between Eric Coutil and Justin Kelly. Eric Coutil taking the win. He is 2 for 2 in 2 rounds of GRIDLIFE Touring Cup. Championship winner at both rounds so far. Aaron Lichty clawing his way onto the podium for the last race. I believe your top 3 in the championship will be the same as the top 3 on that finishing order. Coutil, Kelly, and Lichty. Don't fully quote me on that. Good job from DJ Alessandrini to work his way into the 4th spot. Dave Montgomery all the way up to 5th. He picked up 3 spots in that race. Eric Waddell 6th. Emil Tab 7th. Egedija Sadauskas in the 8th spot. Todd Lamb coming out of nowhere. He's in a CRX that we didn't really get to see on screen all weekend. He's in 9th. And then Bill Griffin in the E46 BMW in the 10th spot. Just outside the top 10, Derek Yarbrough, all the way from Texas.
Well, if you like what you see here, we're not done yet this season. There's still 2 rounds left to go, August 3rd and 4th at Black Hawk Farms Raceway in Illinois, and then, of course, September 7th and 8th at Elkhart Lake in Road America. So that one's going to be really exciting, too. I should be there for that one as well, but
Awesome.
Road America, a lot of draft, a lot of speed. That's going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah. A very, very different lineup of tracks, a huge variety in the styles of tracks, I should say, of Mid-Ohio, Gingerman, Blackhawk Farms, and Road America. Those are very different tracks. I believe we'll also see some amount of GRIDLIFE Touring Cup action at both festivals in Denver for the Horizon Festival and also for Midwest, or for Festival South at Road America.
And there you see, embracing there. What a great battle, and the sportsmanship, of course, I'm sure they're both thrilled with that. Although you have to imagine Kelly's just a little bit disappointed he couldn't get another fender on him.
Man, the flat hands come out. That's serious business. Great camaraderie between these two. Never raced each other before this weekend, and finishing the weekend side by side is fantastic.
Awesome racing, awesome guys. Tom, thank you for being here with me, and it's been a pleasure to be here, and I want to give a thank you to all of the GridLife crew and Adam Jabay and the entire crew of GridLife that brought me out here. Of course, I'm just a little sim racing broadcaster from Sim TV, and if you want to watch these guys during the winter off season, you can find their races on a YouTube channel called Sim TV, SYM TV. You can watch them race over the winter. All sorts of cars, Porsche GT3 Cup, and some other fun stuff. I think we might be doing Mustangs this winter. I'm not really sure what the plan is, but we shall see. That should be around December, January area, but catch them out there. Same driver, Scutiel, and a bunch of the other guys out there as well. So, Tom, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming out and joining me for this, and hopefully I'll be back for Road America.
It's been absolutely a pleasure. We appreciate you guys watching this wheel-to-wheel action GridLife Touring Cup here from Gingerman Raceway, GridLife Midwest Festival. That is a wrap for competition this year in 2019. We've got some track day action still ahead, but thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thanks for joining me, Kyle. It's been a blast. Thanks for the great racing. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one. We'll see you later.